Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain the five kingdom system of classification. In previous class, we have already started the diversity in the living world, that is biodiversity. Different forms of life found in nature is called biodiversity, in which we already studied the binomial nomenclature, the process of naming of every organism, scientific process of naming, assigning two names to all living organisms, that is first name is generic name and second name is a specific name. The binomial nomenclature given by Carolus Linnaeus. Now we study the classification of living organisms. Initially, there are several systems of classification given, which are not on the basis of characteristics. Initially, all the living organisms are classified on the basis of their habitat. On the basis of habitat, living organisms are of three types: either terrestrial, they live on land. All land animals are called terrestrial, either animals or plant. And aquatic animals or aquatic organisms, those organisms which live in water are called aquatic organisms, and those organisms which live in air are called aerial organisms. Some lives on trees, they are called arboreal organisms. But they may be either plant or animal. Later on, all living organisms are classified into two groups: either they are plants or they are animals. But it was found that several living organisms have either the characteristics of plant or either the characteristics of animal. Some have both the characteristics of animals and plant, and some have there is no any characteristics of plant and animal. That means the two kingdom system classification is not sufficient for grouping all the living organisms. Later on, R.H. Whitaker gives a system of naming and system of classification, which is called five kingdom system of classification, given by R.H. Whitaker in 1963. According to them, all living organisms are classified into five kingdoms. First is Monera. The Monera include unicellular, prokaryotic, microscopic organisms. Prokaryotic means they have undeveloped nucleus, that is, nucleus is not bounded by nuclear membrane. They are made up of single cell, that is unicellular. Their nucleus is incipient, that is, nucleus is not bounded by nuclear membrane. Unicellular, prokaryotic, microscopic organisms. They are further classified into two types of bacteria: Alecibacteria, just like methanogens, and eubacteria. Example, cyanobacteria. They are also called blue-green algae. They are photosynthetic autotrophs, just like nostoc, anabina. Some are chemosynthetic autotrophic. They synthesize their own food by taking chemicals from the soil. Some are heterotrophic bacteria. That means Monera include the bacteria and blue-green algae, BGA, cyanobacteria. The first group of first kingdom is Monera. Now next kingdom is Protista. It also includes unicellular but eukaryotic microscopic organism. That is, nucleus is bounded by nuclear membrane. They have true nucleus. This group include unicellular algae, and all protozoans. Proto means first and zoon means animals. It is considered that protozoans are the first living animals on the earth. The protista include unicellular, eukaryotic, microscopic organisms. The unicellular algae and protozoans are included in this kingdom, that is protista. These two kingdoms, Monera and protista, include only unicellular organisms. Now, third kingdom of organism is fungi. The fungi include either unicellular or multicellular saprophytic organisms. Those organisms which derive their food from dead and decaying organic matter are called saprophytic. Unicellular or multicellular saprophytic organism. Presence of cell wall is the characteristics of that kingdom, that is fungi, but absence of chlorophyll. They do not have chlorophyll, that means they cannot synthesize their own food. Example, unicellular fungi is yeast, rhizopus, commonly called bread mold. It is multicellular fungi. Mushrooms are also multicellular fungi. That means either unicellular or multicellular. They have cell wall just like plant, but they do not have chlorophyll, so they cannot synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis. All are saprophytic. Now, fourth kingdom of living organism is plantae. Plantae include multicellular, eukaryotic, autotrophic. Presence of cell wall and chlorophyll are the characteristics of kingdom Plantae. That means all the plants have cell wall and they have chlorophyll. They synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis. The presence of cell wall and chlorophyll is the characteristics of kingdom Plantae, and all are autotrophs. That means they synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Now, fifth kingdom of organism is Animalia. Animalia include multicellular, heterotrophic, eukaryotic organisms. All are multicellular. They are heterotrophs. They cannot synthesize their own food, but obtain their food from other sources, either from plants or from animals. Cell wall absent and chlorophyll also absent in the members of this kingdom. That means absence of cell wall and chlorophyll is the characteristics of organism of this kingdom, that is Animalia. All are heterotrophs. They do not have ability to synthesize their own food, and they obtain their food from other sources, either from plants or from animals. So all animals are included in the kingdom Animalia. All plants are included in the kingdom Plantae. Saprophytic organisms are included in kingdom Fungi. Monera and Protista include all unicellular living organisms. Monera include unicellular prokaryotes and Protista include unicellular eukaryotes. Later on, we classify two kingdoms, Plantae and Animalia, in detail in next class.